other random stuff that I do, this is my channel. Since my last sewing video in which Michelle taught me how to sew my favorite pair of pajama pants from scratch, I decided to buy a sewing machine. And it's honestly been life-changing. I sew like a lot and it's very therapeutic for me. Just like running things into the machine is just... Because it's springtime, usually I would go out and buy a lot of new pieces of clothes, but I thought maybe I would sew some of my spring essentials. And that would be like a white t-shirt, maybe a nicer dressier top, some pairs of shorts with pockets, a long duster cardigan that would be good for when it's cold or you didn't shave your arms, and a dress. And I spent probably like 4 hours at Joann's just going through all the fabrics. When you sew from scratch, you have to figure out how many yards you need of fabric, and you need to know what yards are. Look at the clothes that you have and what fits nice and cut fabric based on that shape and then sew them together. It's not that hard. I think it's more time consuming, but watch a show, but not a show you care about, because when you're sewing it gets pretty loud and you can't hear what's going on in the show. Alright, let's get started. So first up we have a white t-shirt. I got this fabric that has a little bit of texture. It's got like stripes on them. I think it's more interesting than just your basic white t-shirt.
First step is cutting your fabric based on a pattern. Now that you have all the pieces cut out, sew the shoulders of the front and back panel together. Now would be a good time to try and see if your head fits through the hole you made. And if it does, you now have a muscle tank. But if you want to go out in public, attach the sleeves and sew up the sides. And if you followed all the instructions of an actual YouTube tutorial, you now have a shirt.
It's super cute, very comfortable. I could wear it every single day, which is a good sign that I did something right.
Just look how beautiful this fabric is. It was a little expensive though. I paid $18, which was already half off. But I was naive back then. Now I know to look in the remnants section. More on that later. Okay, here I'm cutting for like an eternity to get a very long strip for the ruffle. If you don't want your ruffle to look slightly flaccid, it should at least be twice as long as the bottom of your top. To create the ruffle, sew a straight stitch through the whole strip at these mysterious measurements. I don't really know what they mean.
Then gently tug on one of the strings as if you are a weak child. And just shimmy the gathered fabric down the strip. Do this on both ends until the ruffle looks evenly ruffled. And while you're making the ruffle, hopefully you had your evil twin make the shirt part, and you can just start pinning the ruffle along the bottom edge of the shirt. After your hard work of pinning, you can enjoy a bowl of sugar while you sew along the pins. Here is the final top. Super bright and just fun. It's fun to move around and swing about in. It's gonna look really great in summer as well. It's super cute. The fabric I bought was slightly see-through, so I actually had to line the pants. I didn't actually know how to do that, so I had to Google it while I was sewing. And I also didn't have enough fabric. I had to cut a black t-shirt I had, and I didn't even have enough fabric for that, so I had to like cut up some scraps and sew them all together. So the inside, oh god, it looks terrible. But it's fine, it's the inside. So now that we have the basic shorts all sewn together, hopefully yours isn't with a hideous lining, we can add all the little things to make it less frumpy.
starting with a waistband. I thought I didn't need one, but wow, it makes the shorts look way more store-bought. As for the pocket, the easiest way to add them is just to top stitch fabric in the shape of a pocket. I sewed on a trim of pom-poms to add something feminine to this almost menswear inspired shorts. And finally, I added belt loops and a long waist tie so your pants don't fall down. These are the final shorts. I think they're super cute. I like the black pom-pom trim, matches the black and white. And I also like the tie waist. And they look great with the white top I'm wearing. You guys want to see the inside? Oh, yikes. I guess this is a look. For the cardigan, I picked out a very comfortable knit woven with little bits of red and green. The pattern for this is very similar to the white t-shirt, except it's going to be much longer, and you should cut down the center of the front panel. I also made the neck a little bit lower. Truthfully, you should make it like a straight V shape, but I didn't do that and I regret it. Just like the t-shirt, sewed together the front and back panel at the shoulders. For the sleeves, cut them into this general shape and measure how wide your arm is at the shoulder and at the wrist. And then sew on the sleeves. For the pockets, I was lazy and did the top stitch thing again. Okay, that was a lot of instructions, but here is the final thing.
I only worry that I'm crazy, 'cause if it's all true, oh, it's all true. Yeah, I mean, you know I ain't lying.
You guys, I got this fabric for $2. I'd already picked out this fabric for the dress, but I wanted to see if they had anything else in the remnant section, which is where they put the weird leftovers, and they did. So I got the fabric for couch change. Sorry, that was weird. My idea for this dress was to make it a square neck with straps, like this top I have here, and it is so easy. You sew together like 2 pieces of fabric, make some straps, and you're done. Okay, you do need to do some hemming. So a frequent question I get is, how long does it take me to sew these clothes? And I'd be like, I don't know, an afternoon. So I decided to time myself, and I averaged it over the peplum top, the cardigan, and this dress. So the average time for me to sew something is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now keep in mind, this is actively working on the piece. I probably spend closer to 3 hours because of filming. Measuring and making or altering a pattern takes 17 minutes. Cutting the pieces from the fabric takes 18 minutes. Pinning fabrics together or along where I want to sew takes 10 minutes. Sewing takes a whopping 33 minutes. And I have a suspicion that a good chunk of that is setting up the machine or fixing it when it gets jammed. So this might differ based on the machine you have. 17 minutes for hemming along the edges, and finally 10 minutes for snipping the stray strands. So that should give you, honestly, a very accurate picture of what sewing looks like. Okay, now back to the dress. Here is the final dress. It's pretty basic. I did add some ruching here in the waistline just to make it a little bit more interesting. But pair it with the beret for like a little tea party or like a graduation or just any summertime activities.
True, oh, it's all true. Yeah, I mean, you know I ain't lying, 'cause I hate wasting time. You said soon we'll be leaving this place and a life to find. How you been looking hella fine.
Anyways, these are all the pieces that I made, and I'm extremely pleased with myself. I now can wear like a whole outfit and be like, I made every single thing I'm wearing, which is crazy. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and, you know, learned about sewing or how people make your clothes. Yes, that is the goal of my video. Yes. Okay, bye.